Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Monday. Hey, baby, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. Now you get a little bit of a cold.
Yeah, I got it from you.
I feel awful about that.
Yeah.
So I'm terribly sorry. We do work quite close together. Then we live together and sleep together, and we're always together. So it's kind of my fault. Sorry about that. Coming up later in the program, it is Memorial Day, but it's also a Movie Star Monday. We have Jodi Adler joining us today. We're going to chat with her about her career, and she's even the author of a book she sent in. I've got it sitting here somewhere. We'll chat with her about her book as well. Anyway, Jodi Adler is our Movie Star Monday guest for today. Ready for your quote?
I am ready.
Champions keep playing until they get it right. Billie Jean King. I like that. Champions keep playing until they get it right. So don't give up. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on this Memorial Day Monday.
John and Heidi.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Monday, the 28th day of May. It's Memorial Day, so that's why a lot of folks have the day off today. There's some of us here making sure that you're all entertained as you're getting ready for your big shindigs. Hopefully, people are going to have some things to celebrate today. It is National Hamburger Day. It's a good day for that. A lot of folks do some grilling today.
Yeah.
It's also National Brisket Day because there's a lot of folks that do some barbecue grilling today as well. So it is a big day. It's Memorial Day, the 28th day of May. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
John and Heidi.
Are you tired of high cable TV rates? Sign up for Dish today and get a $500 bonus offer while supplies last. Plus, lock in your price for 2 years guaranteed. Call All American Dish, your Dish authorized retailer now.
800-818-3967. 800-818-3967. That's 800-818-3967. Offers require credit qualification, 24-month commitment, early termination fee, and e-auto pay. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
John and Heidi.
Coming up, we've got your brain on drugs, but first, Starbucks has clarified that drug use and sleeping will not be tolerated in their stores. Now, they have gone like wishy-washy back and forth. There were some gentlemen that were asked to leave a Starbucks, and it was very embarrassing for the company. And then the company said, we have never had a policy that said you need to leave if you're not buying something. They were waiting for somebody.
Right.
And these people made them leave. So anyway, it turned into a really big mess a couple weeks ago. So then the company comes out last week and they say, no, you can come in and you can use our stores even if you're not buying something, if you're waiting for somebody. And then people started getting ridiculous about it. And they're like, oh, so I could sleep there if I want to sleep there. They're like, well, no, you can't do that. So I could go shoot up heroin in the bathrooms then if I want to do that. So now they had... How ridiculous is it? They had to say drug use and sleeping are not tolerated in the stores. But if you're just coming in to, get out of the rain, or if you're coming in to meet somebody, I'm like, this has gotten to the point where, they say there's no such thing as a stupid question. You can prove that wrong. There are stupid questions. And sadly, this has gotten into that zone right here where they're like, oh, could I do this in your store? No. Come on. Use your head. We've got your brain on drugs coming up.
John and Heidi.
Each day at this time, we talk about people doing dumb things under the influence, but addiction is no laughing matter. If you or someone you know needs help, there's a toll-free number you can call.
1-800-438-0380.
That's the Addiction Hope and Helpline.
1-800-438-0380.
And this is your brain on drugs. 56-year-old Norman Keith Reitman of Greenwood, South Carolina, was arrested and charged with indecent exposure after he blamed his nudity on snake bites. What? They found a man running naked at 4:20 a.m. The man told officers he's been looking for snakes earlier, and now there were snakes in his pants. He told them the snakes were biting him, so he undressed on the side of the road in plain view of motorists and took off running away from the snakes. Well, they found the man's pants, but they found no other clothing. Officer wrote in the report he did not see any snakes at the scene either. The man reportedly appeared to be under the influence of drugs, although he denied taking any illicit substances. he's been asked to be taken to the hospital, but would not explain why he wanted to go to the hospital. So, sad story. I don't quite know what was going on there, and we'll just have to keep that dude in our prayers. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show on this Memorial Day.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, Jon Stewart from the late, what was his show called? The Daily Show.
The Daily Show, yeah.
And that's still on, but he's no longer hosting it. Now he's camped out. This was last week. I don't watch any of these shows. So there's people who watch this. They're like, John, this is so last week. Well, I don't watch this stuff. So I wait till it's online, and then people talk about it, and then I read the comments, and I go, well, that's probably worth talking about. Jon Stewart camped out under Stephen Colbert's desk during the Late Show last week to raise money for autism. I think it's a cool idea to raise money for autism, but what was the point of camping out under his desk?
I think it was just a shtick because they always bantered back and forth.
And that's where Stephen Colbert got his start, was on the Daily Show, and those
Yeah.
two, got along really well. So I don't quite understand. There were a lot of very rude comments online.
Oh, were there?
About him being under the desk, and again, I'm not going to share any of that online, or on the show here. But I do have a link to the story if you want to read all about it. And this is kind of cool. We're not sports people here, but I know these names anyway. Race car driver Danica Patrick, you know who that is?
Yeah,
right?
I do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Has been dating Green Bay Packer quarterback Aaron Rodgers since January. Now, she is a Bears fan, but she said she will still root for her Green Bay Packer boyfriend. So that's kind of cool. He just won't let her drive her car. That's This has been your Big Screen, Little Screen, brought to you by ChannelSurferTV.com.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
John and Heidi.
Now, your scoop of the day, courtesy of 49bydesign.com. A recent study says that eating an egg a day might reduce cardiovascular disease deaths. Well, I'll take that as a might, as a maybe, as a, well, I'm going to eat eggs every day anyway, so I'll go with this. Here's what's weird. We used to have like the white eggs you get from the store, and then we switched over to, what were those other ones called? Homegrown? No, that's
Farm
not it.
Fresh.
Farm Fresh, yeah.
Homegrown.
I don't know. And I had posted a thing on Facebook, and I discovered I know a lot of people that have chickens. I didn't know that. I was like, anybody know where I could get Farm Fresh
Isn't
eggs?
that just bizarre?
37 people, I think it was. That had,
Yeah.
And one dude showed up the next day with eggs. He's like, you said you needed eggs? So apparently
You
there's...
still owe him money. by
I
the
know
way.
I do. I haven't gotten more eggs because I haven't seen the dude for like a month now. And I would feel really guilty going and buying other eggs from somebody else. So we have eggs from the store again. Sir, I need to connect with you and pay you for your eggs. And I would like some more. You are my egg dealer now. So anyway, it says here, eating an egg a day might reduce cardiovascular disease deaths. I've got a link to the story. I just want to point out one word in there. Might.
Might. Maybe. Possibly.
That might. They're getting less and less sure about
Right?
everything
I
these
know.
days.
It's ridiculous.
Like, this could be bad for your health, maybe, sort of, possibly. Or it could be good. We'll tell you that next week. It's been announced that condoms will be provided at this year's annual Scouts World Jamboree. What are you guys doing there? I thought you were, like, making fires and stuff. Apparently the Scouts are different now. I remember I was never a Scout when I was a kid, but when I was a kid I had friends that were Scouts, and I know they weren't doing this kind of stuff. Otherwise, I probably would have been a Scout too, so I'm just saying. I did not. I know they didn't do that kind of thing back then.
Well, they probably have to now. They've allowed girls in there if they're going to be camping.
There should be a conversation about this is not the place for this. They're kids. They're little kids. Come on.
Well, not all of them are little kids.
Yeah.
Eagle Scouts are.
Still too young for this stuff. It was reported this last week that a man was killed and another was injured in a very rare cougar attack at the Washington State Cascade Foothills. Did you hear about this?
I did. I saw that online.
That is so sad. And again, I'm reading this online, and the jokes that are on there are about, female cougars, like older ladies who like, they're like, so some old lady that was drunk online attacked these. I'm like, no, it's not that kind of cougar. But honestly, I had to sit and think, there could be a whole generation of people who don't realize that cougars are actual animals.
I don't think there's a generation of people who don't know their animals.
Here's the thing. I was talking to somebody that's our son's age, and we were talking about the Mustang, And he had no clue that was named after a horse. Now, I'm going to say something. It was actually named after a plane that was named after a horse. But he was asking, why is there a horse on the front of the Mustang? I'm like, because a Mustang is a horse. He's like, I don't understand that.
Real?
Yes. It was a couple years ago. He had no clue that Mustang had anything to do with horses. So there could be a whole generation that doesn't realize that a cougar is an actual animal. So just want to point that out. It's an animal. It wasn't some lady that was hopped up on wine. Just want to make sure you know. And 1 week after being caught on video screaming at people for speaking Spanish on a New York City cafe, attic cafe, attorney Aaron Schosselberg says he's not a racist and he's deeply sorry for his actions. Can you imagine how his last week has been?
Oh my gosh!
And here's the thing: you got to just don't pretend to be a good person because you might be caught on film. Be a decent human being all the time because you should. And then if you're caught on film, you don't have to say, I didn't mean all those things I said, and I don't mean all those things that I did. One last thing here. Parents at a Pittsburgh school were angry to learn that their 7th graders were taught an overly graphic sexual education lesson.
This. I would have been
and
furious.
Again, this was online. I've got a link to all the details about it. I figured I'd bring it up.
And the teacher told them to go home to research oral.
Yeah. Go on your mom and dad's computer.
On your mom and dad. Don't do it on the school computer because they'll be able to track it.
Yeah. I was like, what are you doing?
7th my God.
grade.
I would be
livid. Yeah.
Furious.
Absolutely. Well, that is apparently, it's a different day and age today, Heidi. We're getting old. Those darn kids and their crazy
We're not
computers.
getting old. This is common sense.
It is. And it's just things are off the rails a little bit. This has been your scoop of the day. It's courtesy of 49bydesign.com. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Hershey's Kisses are called that because the machine that makes them looks like it's kissing the conveyor belt. It goes down and...
Aw, I love Hershey Kisses.
And then it lets the thing up, and that's why they're big at the bottom and whoop, kind of go up. I'm doing a lot of hand motions that probably don't transmit over the radio
Not as well over the radio, no.
I was just giving everybody a gesture. It does this. This is what it does. Yeah, sorry about that. I just failed Radio 101. Hey, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Typewriter is hey, we just did this one.
I said this yesterday.
Oh, okay, that's why. Okay,
yeah.
So typewriter is the longest word that can be used using the keys of only one row on a keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said that yesterday.
We had the fun fact that stewardesses is the longest word that you can use just typing with your left hand.
Right.
And I pointed out, correctly so, you can type any word with your left hand. I mean, I do it all the time. You type
with just
one-handed.
One finger.
I type with just one finger usually. So you can do it if you believe strong enough that you can do it. This has been a couple of fun facts, courtesy of LearnWithoutLoans.com.
John and Heidi.
Do you have ideas for t-shirt designs, but you don't have a clue how to print them? Or maybe you'd like to have t-shirts and coffee mugs available to buy online with your business logo printed on them. There's a website that makes it easy. We set ours up in about 10 minutes. There's no sign-up fee, no minimum orders, no monthly fees. It's just a really easy way to put some cool items online for sale, and you get paid every time somebody buys them. You don't have to print or ship anything. Just sign up, upload your designs, and then let people know where they can get your cool stuff. More details available at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
It is another Movie Star Monday, and our guest today is Jodi Adler, and I'm super excited to visit with Jodi. We talked a little bit ahead of time, and she's got a background in radio, so us crazy radio people, we all get along, don't we, Jodi?
Yeah, we're all crazy. Good crazy, and nobody else can compare with radio people. I'm sorry.
That's right. Now, that probably helped because the movie that you were in last year called Psycho-in-Law, now you weren't crazy, though, in the movie, were you?
No, I wasn't the crazy one.
Thank goodness.
I played this bohemian kind of woman who owned a jewelry store who sold a piece of evidence, an item that became a piece of evidence to the daughter-in-law of the psycho-in-law. So it's really I think it might still be on Lifetime. You see me at the beginning in my jewelry store wearing some real funky clothes and, just looking like what should we say, like a gypsy woman. And it's really fun.
And again, the character's name is Sherry in the movie. The movie is Psycho-in-Law. And I'm going to throw a link online to make that really easy to find. But this is something that's just as interesting to me. A lot of people nowadays are doing things on YouTube, and you are a YouTuber as well. And people might know you from being Auntie Jodi from Auntie Jodi's Hints.
They might know me. I developed this character, Auntie Jodi, or Auntie Jodi, depending on what part of the country you're from. as kind of a tongue-in-cheek but reality-based advice giver. People were always in my real life asking me for advice, and I would give them fun little hints and tips. And a friend of mine said, you should write all this down. And I was posting these fun little clips on Facebook and Twitter and all of that stuff. And so it became a book. After the book, well, I can tell you how it all started is I was at a party, and somebody in this day and age asked me my sign, and so I thought, well, isn't that cute? Isn't that funny? So I told them I was a Taurus. Now, mind you, I'm not a Taurus. And they said, oh, you act just like a Taurus. And then I said, well, I'm kidding. I'm really not a Taurus. I'm a Leo. And they said, that is such a Leo thing to do. And I let them talk on about that. And you know where this is going, right?
Yeah.
And after they told me how Leo-esque I was, I said, I'm just kidding you. I'm not a Leo either. And they said, you are, and then they named every sign but the sign I am. And I said, if you want to, amuse yourself at a party, just make up your sign when somebody asks it, something like that, because really, anybody can see anything they want in you if they want to see it.
I think that's really funny.
Auntie Jodi started. Thank you.
From there, it turned into a book first and then a YouTube series. Is that right?
Right. So then I'm actually a writer. As I said, I started in radio as a news anchor reporter, also a writer. And so, and I wrote a couple children's books. So then I started writing down all my hints. And I had hundreds of them, probably around 1,000. And a friend of mine who's an editor said, Jodi, we have to get these into a book. So she put them all together for me. She put them in a book, which is, here's a shameless plug. It's called Auntie Jodi's Hints. It's called, actually, How Dare You? Helpful Hints for Staying Sane in an Insane World, which is on Amazon. Because we are living in an insane world, and people have forgotten to use humor to help through. Everything, I don't know about where you're living, but everything is so serious. People have lost the ability to laugh at themselves, to laugh at others, to poke fun, and, just to be like a little bit of a naughty, fun tease. You see all these, lawsuits everywhere and all sorts of things going on, and if you just take a step back and you say, were they really serious? Were they just fooling around? Were they just kidding? Can I just take this and move on in my life and not get angry? So, anyway, so Auntie gives advice. I actually had a shrink friend at a party say to me, nobody needs any other self-help books except for yours.
No, wow.
And that was huge. That was absolutely huge because he said, if you just read it with a sense of humor, you'll give someone advice about every bad situation in your life. Of course, I'm not a medical professional. I'm not telling people not to get medical help, but I really think that humor heals.
Absolutely.
People have forgotten, and like with your show, laughter is the best way. It's the best bridge between people. I really believe humor is the best bridge between people, and if people only lightened up a little bit. I mean, in the world I grew up in, we got to joke around. Nowadays, if you say the wrong joke, you're the victim of a lawsuit, and you're a bad person.
Well, and that's where I think a lot of people need to realize that, some people are just trying to have fun and lighten the mood. And now there's a fine line between that, and maybe it's not a fine line, but there is a line between that and being hurtful and being a bully. You don't want to do that. But
I'm totally anti-bullying. Yeah. No.
But, it is certainly not a bad thing to especially self-deprecating humor. That's my favorite, where I'm the butt of the joke. I'm okay with that.
Exactly. So that's where people go wrong, is that I make fun of myself while I'm doing all of this stuff. I never reach out and attack anybody. But if you kind of make a wink and a little tongue-in-cheek remark about what's going on, and people are willing to listen. See, here's the thing, is that nowadays people really, they don't know how to listen. So, I just think if we all lightened up a little, life would be better.
I agree 100%. Our guest right now, Jodi Adler, and she has a book, and she also has a YouTube channel that has a whole bunch of fun videos, Auntie Jodi's Hints. Now, how long have you been doing the videos? If people are listening that are maybe really into following things, they may be following you already, but how long have you been doing those?
Only a few months, maybe close to a year. We're getting ready to put up our second season of Hints. This time around, I'm going to have some guests, people who have something to contribute, because we just like to go in and come out, maybe a 1-minute hint, something that might just help you through your day. And if you have any questions, Auntie takes questions. So I just look for ways to help people in a fun way. And then it also, you help yourself when you help other people. So I had a friend come to me with a boyfriend question the other day. Now, mind you, I am not an expert at boyfriends. But the whole issue for her was that her boyfriend and she just weren't having conversations. And it's not about let's talk our hearts out, but just let's say, I don't like the way you drive. And then all you have to do is say, here, you drive. And then they probably won't like the way you drive either. So you might have to take separate cars places. But there's always an easy answer, right?
Absolutely.
Lighten up again.
Again, our guest today has been Jodi Adler. Jodi, thank you for taking time to visit with us. If people would like to find you online, first of all, we've got the Anti-Jodi hints. They can find you on YouTube. Where else can they find you, like on social media and things?
Right. On the Twitter, it's Jodi Adler, JodiAdler. I also have a website, Anti-Jodi, where if you actually need advice, you can email me, and I'll respond. With your permission, I might even use your hint as part of a YouTube video. I do Instagram, not as much as I do Twitter, but it's Anti-Jodi on Instagram, and Anti-Jodi has a Facebook page. So we're pretty much covered.
Wow.
You can find all of them, though, at antijodi.com.
And we're going to throw a link to that one to make it really easy to find, and we'll do that at facebook.com/John and Heidi Show. Thanks for listening on another Movie Star Monday.
John and Heidi.
In a world that constantly tells you you're not good enough,
12 easy ways to lose weight now.
It's easy to start believing that. I'm Amanda Johnson. I have a new perspective on the self-help genre. My book, Becoming Enough, A Heroine's Journey to the Already Perfect Self, will guide you to find your own happiness. Learn to block out the distractions of what the world thinks and learn to be happy with who you truly are. Becoming Enough. Available now on Amazon, or learn more at amandajohnson.tv.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Hershey's Kisses are called that because the machine that makes them looks like it's kissing the conveyor belt. It goes down and...
Aw, I love Hershey Kisses.
And then it lets the thing up, and that's why they're big at the bottom and whoop, kind of go up. I'm doing a lot of hand motions that probably don't transmit over the radio
Not as well over the radio, no.
I was just giving everybody a gesture. It does this. This is what it does. Yeah, sorry about that. I just failed Radio 101. Hey, fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
Typewriter is the Hey, we just did this one.
I said this yesterday.
Oh, okay, that's why. Okay,
yeah.
So typewriter is the longest word that can be used using the keys of only one row on a keyboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said that yesterday.
We had the fun fact that stewardesses is the longest word that you can use just typing with your left hand.
Right.
And I pointed out, correctly so, you can type any word with your left hand. I mean, I do it all the time. You type
with just
one-handed.
One finger.
I type with just one finger usually. So you can do it if you believe strong enough that you can do it. This has been a couple of fun facts, courtesy of LearnWithoutLoans.com.
If you're a business owner trying to do your own website, maybe it's time to get help. Or if you don't even have a website, it's definitely time for help. It's 2018. This internet thing is here to stay. At 49bydesign.com, we offer a simple plan to get you online for just $49 a month with no setup fee. This includes a website with the hosting and domain name included in the price. We have larger packages available, but this will get you online so people can find you in 2018. We're affordable by design at 49bydesign.com. That's 49bydesign.com.
Now, the grandiloquent word of the day is churlish. I'm sorry, churlish. Churlish. What do you think churlish means, Heidi?
I don't know.
Churlish. Churlish is rude and vulgar or boorish. That's not a good thing, is it? None of those.
Not really, no.
Anybody referring to me as churlish, we're going to have some words. It is a word meant simply a peasant. And before that, in Old Norse, it meant a man. Interestingly, this is the root word from which we derive the name Carl and Charles and Caroline. So churlish, Chuck, Charlie, Tuesdays with Charlie, rude, vulgar, and boorish. If the shoe fits. He's not boorish at all, but a little vulgar once in a while. Just saying, I don't know that I wouldn't put him in charge of the kids for a couple hours. I've got a link to the story here, a link to the grandiloquent word. They're on Facebook, by the way. If you're not following them, I encourage you to do that. It's a fun page, and I'm usually a couple days behind because I got them all stacked up here, but it's a really fun thing. I don't come up with these. They do, and I'm glad they do. It makes my day a whole lot easier. Again, the word today, the grandiloquent word, churlish. Thanks for listening.
John and Heidi.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-719-5601. 800-719-5601. That's 800-719-5601.
Now your weird news on a Monday. Police officers in Ohio received a call from a man who was walking home from a train station, and a pig started following him, and he didn't know what to do, so he called the police. Thinking that this dude might have just left the bar, they went out to pick him up, thinking he's got to be drunk. When they got there, they found a man, stone cold sober, and a pig walking next to him. According to authorities, the man told them, "I'm just walking home from the Amtrak station, and this pig, for whatever reason, has been following me everywhere I go." In the end, the pig was very cooperative. He was placed in the back of a police cruiser. Are you kidding me? Took him to the station. They got some hoof prints. No, they didn't really do that. But they made the animal feel at home for a little bit inside the department dog kennel until the owner was notified. And then the pig was picked up. Now, it doesn't say if he was cited for having a pig on the loose or not.
Oh, that's hilarious.
It's funny that he got a ride there in the back of the squad car.
Well, it's
Come on
just
in.
funny that he just picked this random guy and decided, I'm going to walk with you.
I'm going to follow you. Do you have some treats or anything? I'm awfully hungry right now. So there you go. That's some weird news on this Monday. Now, your moment of duh. This is such a terrible idea. According to the FBI, when you start with that, you know it's a bad idea.
Okay.
According to the FBI, a Virginia husband lied about being kidnapped by a biker gang so he could run away with his mistress. What the what?
Okay.
Larry, 38-year-old Larry Wayne Pierce Jr. What were you thinking, Larry? He was arrested last week and charged with lying to federal authorities. Prosecutor said his wife reported him missing April 14th, and the sheriff's office launched a massive search that included the use of state police helicopters and dogs. He was located that night by a driver who noticed him on the side of the road. An affidavit written by an FBI agent said when he was taken to the hospital, he told them, "I was kidnapped by two strangers. I was drugged. I was held against my will." Agents discovered that he contacted a woman the day that he was reportedly missing, in quotes there. Price said the woman managed a restaurant that he owned and denied having an affair with her. She eventually came clean and told the officers that yes, and his mistress said that they had discussed wanting to disappear. She said they decided to move into a house near her father's home and start a new life together. Well, apparently it didn't all work out because he got in trouble. What a terrible idea.
Yeah, really.
There's a process where you could have done all of that, and it would have been, still probably wouldn't have been right, but at least it wouldn't have been that wrong.
Right.
That was a terrible idea. That's why this is today's moment of duh.
In a world that constantly tells you you're not good enough,
12 easy ways to lose weight now.
It's easy to start believing that. I'm Amanda Johnson. I have a new perspective on the self-help genre. My book, Becoming Enough, A Heroine's Journey to the Already Perfect Self, will guide you to find your own happiness. Learn to block out the distractions of what the world thinks and learn to be happy with who you truly are. Becoming Enough, available now on Amazon, or learn more at amandajohnson.tv.
Now, fake news or Florida, Heidi? What do you think this is? Do you think it's, what was the word again? Flummery? Isn't that the word from our grandiloquent word?
I think it was, yeah.
Flummery. You tell me if you think this is real or if it's just a bunch of flummery.
All righty.
A man was busted for operating a golf cart chop shop where he sold discount cars and parts to senior citizens. Fake news or Florida?
Fake news.
Incorrect. That really happened. He was stealing golf carts and parting them out and putting them together in different configurations and reselling them, and he got in trouble. A golf cart chop shop. I guess, you know, when the chop shop guys retire, they go to Florida too.
Yeah,
so
I suppose. Yeah,
sense.
he's got to earn a living.
Okay, and one more. You got to tell me, is this flubbery? What was the word again? Flubbery?
Anyway.
Is it fake news
or
is it
Florida?
I have to write the word down so I make sure I get that right. Mall security guard fired and arrested after police found him installing camera in woman's restroom. Fake news or Florida?
Florida.
Sorry, Heidi, you're wrong twice.
Oh, my gosh, I got them both
That
wrong.
was fake news today. So I'm really glad that was fake news because you would hope that you could trust the security guards to not do things like that. They are there, again, in a security position, so you'd really hope they wouldn't do that. So thank goodness that was just a bunch of flubbery. It was fake news on this edition of Fake News or Florida.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with some good news, and I think this is good news. It comes your way courtesy of Odiva. That's the monthly subscription service just for the ladies. All of the details are on the website radiosavings.com. You ready for some good news?
I'm ready.
You know, I think it's time for good news. This is, I think, a really cool story. How many people do you know that are afraid of the dentist?
Oh, lots.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that are afraid of the dentist. Well, this dentist is enchanting his young patients with magic, and it is the sweetest thing you'll see all week. People, for whatever reason, are afraid of the dentist, but now they're obsessing over this video of a dentist and his young patient, and it's for a very good reason. It says here, Dr. Eyal Simic from Riverfront Pediatric Dentistry in New Jersey recently uploaded a video of himself enchanting a toddler with a magic ball of light. The technique is one of his many methods to make children feel less scared of the dentist office. From blowing bubbles to doing some magic tricks and stuffed animals, it's clear to see that his no-tear techniques work really well. Since the video has been uploaded to Facebook about a little over a week ago, it's been viewed over 17 million times.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Not only is the youngster delighted by the trick, but hundreds of adults watching the clip are puzzled by the illusion. We're not going to spoil the secret. You can go on there and watch it for yourself if you'd like. I've got a link to this story in our good news section of the show notes at johnandheidishow.com. We're going to be doing a revamp on the site soon. I'm really excited about that. I was kind of looking through how we're going to set that up, but I'm going to be redoing that and make it a little easier to use and a little easier for people to find. If you go there now, there's just like the show notes is kind of a new thing. So we just threw a link at the top of the page. So when you click on it, it takes you to this really funky-looking blog that looks like it's 12 years old because I think I started it 12 years ago. But if you go check it out, it's got all the stuff we talk about. So if you ever have a story you hear on the radio from us, you'll probably find a link to that story in our show notes. Again, at johnandheidishow.com. Time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much for listening on this Memorial Day. I hope you do something special to honor those who we are remembering on this Memorial Day.